What is going on, anglers? TexasRigged here, down at the creek again, and I'm just going to quickly go over my top 5 favorite fishing rods that I like to use in this area. Let's get to it. Coming in at the number 5 slot, the bang for your buck big game rod that you can find at your local academy for only $15. It doesn't have a name brand on it. I assume it's just Academy's H2O Express brand. If not, it's just no name brand. The only thing it has written on the side is the specifications for the rod. You can use up to 1 ounce lure with this and up to 25 pounds of line. Decent size, you can haul in a good sized fish with this. It's extremely durable and it's yellow, so that's automatically a plus. Right now I have a Penn Battle fishing reel that my buddy hooked it up with for my birthday. I have reeled in a good sized catfish with this rod, so I can vouch for it that it is durable for the money. And if you are looking for a lot of rods for your boat, maybe as a guide, or if you just want rods that if you're not worried about them breaking or getting stolen out of your boat or something like that, this is a good option. You're not missing anything. It has everything to offer for you for only $15. The next rod I'm going to discuss is an ultralight spinning rod that was actually designed to have the action of a high quality fly rod. That is the Fenwick Elite Tech River Runner. This is an extremely lightweight rod. It's basically my buggy whip. I have caught very good fish on this, and it handles itself very well for the size. Like I said before, it's meant to have the action of a high quality fly rod. So what you can do with this rod is actually put on streamers, dry flies, or even poppers, anything you want, and you can use flies with this rod because of how light the action is. If you need to get the flies in the water, throw a little split shot on there, and you're fishing flies on a spinning rod. So you can not only use spinner baits, drop shots, flies. This rod does it all. And for its size, it actually outcompetes most of my standard size fishing rods. There's almost nothing I can't do with this rod except for haul big fish out of brush and out of weeds and stuff. But if you're going to do that, this isn't the rod for that anyway. My point here is that I have done almost every single fishing style on this rod alone, and it's the lightest rod in my arsenal at all. Like, it's extremely powerful for its size. It's a 2-piece rod, so you can break it down easy, stuff it in a pack. This is the 5'8" ultra fast river runner, so you can use up to a 3/16 ounce lure or up to 6-pound line. I think that's an underestimation. I think you could probably push it to 8 pounds with this rod on the line. I stay with 6, but Fenwick Elite Tech River Runner. Next, we're going to talk about another very versatile rod. This is called the Fenwick Methods Travel Rod. I know I like Fenwick products, I'm sorry, but they do it really well. So with this rod, you can not only get a travel case, but you get basically 4 rods in one. It gives you multiple sections of rods that you can put together to actually combine into whatever rod action that you need at the time. I personally got the spinning rod version of this rod. You can get a bait caster if you need, and you can also scale it as like I got the medium light / medium version. I think you can also get like medium heavy and heavy. So depending on where you're fishing at the time, you have multiple rods in your arsenal that you can pack away in a really small and compact travel case and mix up your fishing experience as needed. I've used these rods on a lot of different fishing applications, and being able to just whip out a different section of the rod and just replace it with another one and have a different action that allows you to use different lures and maybe even target smaller or bigger fish is really, really cool. I haven't seen another company do anything like this. Fenwick Methods fishing rod is your way to go if you're on the road a lot, you don't really have a lot of space, maybe you're a college kid, or store stuff in your dorm room or your college apartment. Those are really small, and rod racks take up a lot of room. I have one in my bedroom and it takes up most of my floor. So having one of these in college could be really, really beneficial. I don't know if they have a fly rod. If they do, I need to buy it because that would be amazing. Let me break this out real quick. I'll show you some of the sections real quick. So you got your standard kind of fly rod-esque travel case, really high quality. It's got foam inside to protect your rod. And then you get your rod sections. We have our main piece here, not too big. This one. So this is a 6'8" medium light to medium. So There's multiple different lure sizes and weights that you can use, line sizes, etc. And then you have all of your sections here. So you have two mid sections and then two tip sections, but you can change these out and just mix match all of them together to make your own unique feel and preference for the rod. Really awesome, guys. Fenwick is very innovative. I know I talk about them a lot, but you know, they've done a lot for me, and I love their products. They really do. They're innovators in the field of fishing, for sure. I haven't seen another company do anything like this. If another company has done something like this, tell me in the comments below. I'd love to know. So for the extra sections, you get an extra fast, a medium, and a medium light. So you can go from being almost an ultralight rod to a regular medium-sized bass rod with this and catch all the fish in between. That's a good bang for your buck, guys. It does come in at another good price point at $150, but remember, you're almost getting 4 rods in one with this. That's a good price for 4 rods. The next 2 rods, I'm just going to interlace some B-roll here. I shot it the other day of us fishing with these rods. The first one I'm going to go over is the Gander Mountain Advantage Series rods. And if you live by a Gander Mountain, it might or might not have closed down recently and has been rebranded to just Gander Outdoors. But I bet the rod is still going to be sold in these stores. It's the Advantage Series Gander Mountain rod. It isn't expensive. I think it's maybe $35 at the most. My dad got it for me for Christmas. It's a very sturdy bait caster that you can get under $50. It has a nice brownish auburn color to it, which I find really classy. I know I like yellow rods a lot, but I also have a soft spot for browns and like natural colors, and this rod reminds me of like a classic Porsche brown. It's kind of weird, and I think that's why I like it, because when you take it out in the sun, it's gorgeous. It has like this chameleon-y, purpley brown color. It's really unique, and for $35 you can't really go wrong. Bait casters, the cheaper you get, they don't necessarily get better, in my opinion. They kind of become unbalanced and a little clunky. Like if you use an ugly stick rod, they're great fishing rods, they're very durable, but they are kind of clunky and very unbalanced. They're not weighted very well. And so at $35, this is probably where I'd come in and say this is a really quality bait caster. A little bit higher quality than like an ugly stick, but way more balanced and definitely worth the money. Some of my first topwater hits came on this bait cast rod alone. Some of my biggest fish I've caught on Bart, the frog lure again that you've seen me fish here a lot. The rod is very sensitive with spinnerbaits. It feels the blade moving with every stroke through the water, and you can see the rod tip just bouncing and undulating with every turn of that blade. So I love using this rod with spinnerbaits. It's probably my go-to spinnerbait rod for that, is because I can feel the spinnerbait so much. It is such a sensitive rod for $35 that, again, it's hard to argue with. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about my absolute favorite fishing rod in my arsenal, the Eagle Claw Featherlight 6'6" fly rod. For $25 on Amazon, you can get yourself into fly fishing with probably what I would say is one of the most legendary pieces of glass on the market. This rod has been around for as long as my dad was a kid, and maybe even before that. It's a very old, legendary piece of glass that generations know about, and you can get it for $27. It is a glass rod, so it's a little bit more flimsy than your typical IM6 graphite rods or whatever's out there now. But once you catch a fish on a little glass fly rod, a 4-pound bass on a glass fly rod in a creek like what's behind me, makes you fall in love with fishing all over again. It's a little different. I love this rod for so many reasons. For the price point, this rod comes with tons of high quality features, beautiful gold pieces along the handle, a rosewood inlay on the reel seat, nice quality cork. It comes with a fish measurement system on the back end of the rod, I think up to about 18 inches, so you know if you've caught a keeper for the day. On the rod, that is so cool. Has super classy cursive writing on the side to tell you the specifications of the rod. I just think for the price point, Eagle Claw kills it with their rods. They have tons of backpacker rods and travel rods and telescopic rods, and I think this is like the best of them all. In my opinion, it's 6'6", so you break it down, you stuff it in your backpack, it weighs like nothing, and it hauls in hogs, man. It is such a great rod. I bet you any seasoned fly fishermen out there can vouch for these rods. I hope you go out and buy one. $25, $27 on Amazon, and you get yourself the most basic reel, and you're in it, man. You want a truck rod that you're not worried about losing. It's 25 bucks. I'd hate to lose it, honestly, if it was me, but like I said, you want something to throw in the truck, and it's not your, you know, butter stick or your Reddington rod or your Orvis Clearwater, whatever you're using. Eagle Claw Featherlight, man. Such a good rod. I want to thank all of you for coming down to the creek with me today. It's a little bit muddy. I don't think I'm going to get to fishing. I don't think the fish will even see my lures. It's so muddy. We've had a good rain overnight. But I'm hoping that all this flood water brings in some more fish, fills in my little honey hole pockets, and I can bring you guys some more creek bassing. So thank you for coming down with me. I'll see you on the next one. Texas Rigged out.